My dearest friends, perhaps you're walking through a time right now that feels unbearably heavy, as though the weight of it is pressing down on your very heart. You may feel lost, confused, utterly alone, and that pain can feel suffocating, like no one truly understands the depth of what you're going through. But there is something I need to say to you today, something that I hope will settle deep into your soul. God sees you. He knows exactly where you are, even in your darkest moment. And though it might feel impossible to believe right now, He is going to lead you through this storm. I've been there myself, feeling trapped in circumstances that seem unmovable, as if every day stretches endlessly into the next with no relief. You may be asking, why is this happening? Why do I have to carry this burden? The nights can be so long, can't they? Longer than the days, filled with questions and tears. But even when the night is at its blackest, there is always a light. And that light, so gentle, so unwavering, is God Himself, who has never once turned His gaze away from you. As C.S. Lewis once said, hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. There is a divine purpose in the trials you are facing, even if you can't yet see it. God is not far away from your suffering. He is with you, my friend, right beside you in this very moment. You may not see how, but He is already at work, preparing a way out of this valley. And when the time is right, though I know it may feel like it's taking far too long, you will step into the other side of this, stronger, braver, and more blessed than you can imagine. But I know how hard it is to trust in that when you feel like you're drowning, to believe in a way forward when all you see is the weight of the problem in front of you. I understand the temptation to want to fix things yourself, to try to force a way out of the pain. But here's a hard truth I've learned. We can't do it on our own. We need His strength, His wisdom, to make it through. As C.S. Lewis wisely wrote, relying on God has to begin all over again every day, as if nothing had yet been done. I won't pretend that trusting God is easy, especially when you feel like your prayers are met with silence, or when the pain is so deep you can hardly breathe. But even then, God is faithful. He has never left you, not once. Even in the silence, He is there, working in ways that you cannot yet see. As C.S. Lewis reminded us, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. Even in this pain, God is speaking. He is calling you to deeper trust, to deeper reliance on Him. So I want to encourage you. Pour out your heart to Him. Cry, scream if you must. Let Him hear every bit of your fear, your anger, your exhaustion. He can take it, and He cares about every tear, every sleepless night, every whispered why. He is listening even now, and when the burden feels too great, remember this: God is bigger. Bigger than this pain, bigger than this struggle. He is stronger than anything you face, and He will carry you through. I know waiting can feel like the hardest thing, when you're desperate for a breakthrough and nothing seems to change. But His timing is perfect. Even though it might feel unbearable in the waiting, He knows the exact moment when the doors will open, when the healing will come, when the path will clear. As C.S. Lewis encouraged, I am sure that God keeps no one waiting, unless He sees that it is good for him to wait. So, my dear friend, hold on. Don't let go of hope. This season, no matter how long it's lasted, or how heavy it feels, is not forever. There will come a day when you look back and see how far He's brought you. You'll see how He never let you go, how He carried you when you thought you couldn't take another step. There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind, C.S. Lewis said, and it's true for you. What God has for you on the other side of this trial is greater than you can imagine. Maybe right now, you're staring at a mountain that feels impossible to climb. You wonder how you'll ever get past it, but remember this: God moves mountains. He makes a way where there seems to be no way. He is the God of the impossible, and He will bring you out of this season. As C.S. Lewis wrote, "When we lose one blessing, another is often most unexpectedly given in its place." This loss or struggle you're experiencing is not the end. God is already preparing something new for you. So please keep your eyes fixed on Him. Don't let the weight of this season pull you away from the one who loves you more deeply than you can imagine. Stay close to Him. Lean on Him. He is your refuge, your strength, your hope. And as you continue to trust, even in the pain, even in the waiting, you will see God is faithful. He will not fail you. Keep believing, my dear friend. Keep holding on. The way through is coming, and God is already leading you toward it. Finding your way through a hard season isn't just about holding on and waiting for the storm to end. It's about finding strength, God's strength, right there, in the middle of that storm. I know how it feels when life overwhelms you, when everything you've counted on seems to fall apart, and you're left feeling tired, worn, and so very alone. But I want to tell you this: there is a strength waiting for you, a strength that is greater than anything this world could ever give. It's the strength of God Himself, and it is yours. When you feel like you've reached the end, when you think you can't take another step, that's when God's strength becomes your lifeline. I've been there too, when you feel empty, as if every bit of energy and hope has been drained out of you. You might feel like you've got nothing left, but listen to me. God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. When you reach the end of your own abilities, that's exactly where God steps in and says, "Now let me carry you." I want to plead with you, lean into that strength. Don't rely on your own power to push through this season. It will never be enough. But God's power, His strength, oh my dear friend, it is more than enough. This is the God who holds the very universe in His hands. Don't you see? He can hold you too. He will give you the strength to keep going, to take another breath, another step, even when everything in you just wants to collapse in defeat. I understand the weariness, the bone-deep exhaustion that comes when life's battles seem endless. The struggles, the losses, the fears, they can drain you body and soul. But listen closely. God never intended for you to fight these battles alone. He never wanted you to carry these burdens by yourself. That's why, in His love, He offers His strength to you. He says, "Cast your cares upon me. Let me carry that weight." In this season, I urge you to take Him up on that offer. Don't hesitate. When you wake up in the morning and the thought of facing the day feels unbearable, ask God for His strength. When you're standing in the middle of a hard situation and you don't know how you'll survive it, ask God for His strength. When you feel like you're at your breaking point and you don't think you can go on another minute, ask God for His strength. And here's the most beautiful, miraculous thing: He will give it to you. He will pour into you a strength you never knew you had, a strength that will carry you through the darkest moments, a strength that will hold you together when it feels like your whole world is falling apart. But it's not just about asking, it's about believing. You have to believe that God will provide. I know how hard that can be, especially when the storm rages and it feels like God is distant. We can become so focused on our pain, our problems, that we start to doubt His power, to wonder if He's really there. But my dear, God is right there, in the very middle of your struggle, closer than you can imagine, and He is ready to flood your life with His strength. Let me share with you what has carried me through my darkest seasons. When I feel at my weakest, I remind myself of who God is. I remind myself that He is the creator of all things, that nothing nothing is too hard for him. I remind myself that he loves me with a love so deep, so fierce, that it will never let me go. I remind myself that he is for me, not against me, and that he is my refuge, my shelter, my help in times of trouble. And as I focus on who God is, my perspective begins to shift. I start to see my problems in the light of God's power, and suddenly they don't seem so overwhelming anymore. As C.S. Lewis so powerfully said, "Faith is the art of holding on to things your reason has once accepted, in spite of your changing moods. Even when everything inside you wants to give up, faith helps you keep believing. When you feel weak, worn out, and unsure of what's ahead, I want you to stop and remind yourself of who God truly is. Speak His truth over your life, even in the midst of the storm. Declare with all your heart that God is your strength, your refuge, your fortress. Say it aloud. With God on my side, I can face anything." And as you speak these words, you will feel something stirring within you, God's strength rising, giving you courage where there was fear, endurance where there was weariness, and faith where there was doubt. You will find the strength to keep going, to believe that even in the hardest times, your breakthrough is coming. This season of pain, dear ones, is not the end of your story. It's just a chapter in the grand book of your life that God is lovingly writing. And in this chapter, God is teaching you something profound, how to rely on Him in ways you never imagined. He is inviting you to draw your strength from Him, to lean into His everlasting arms, so that when this season ends, and it will, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and with a heart that has experienced firsthand the deep, sustaining power of God. You will walk out of this season knowing deep within just how good and mighty our God truly is. I know it's not easy. I know the days can feel so long and the nights even longer. But I want to plead with you, don't give up, don't lose heart. God is with you, walking beside you through every painful moment, and He is already pouring His strength into you. He has not abandoned you, not for a second. So keep pressing forward, keep holding on to His promises, keep believing that He will guide you out of this dark valley and into the light again. But there's something even deeper I want to share with you, something that can lift you up when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Hope and faith. These are not just words, they are lifelines. Hope is the anchor that keeps you steady when everything around you is swirling in chaos. And faith? Faith is the trust that God will bring you through, no matter how hard the road. Together, hope and faith are your companions, your constant guides holding you up when you feel you can't go on. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to let the struggles of life press you down until you feel like you can't breathe. But please, my friends, hear me. Hope and faith are not passive. They are powerful forces. They remind you that there is something better ahead, that God is at work even when you cannot see it, and that your current struggles are not the end of the